Thanks, Phil. Now, his music journey is one that can be described as thorough and interesting. By the time he was 13 years old, he was a songwriter. In 1986, he gave doing music a shot with a group he had started, which went by the name Future Kids. Little did he know that it would be at varsity choir that would give him a solid start, which led to another choir, then a duo, and then finally the courage to start a solo career. Well, today, JJ is a successful recording artist with 6 albums under his belt, the latest being a 10-track recording titled Ngisondela Kuwe, and is the reason why he joins us this morning. JJ, good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sis Lebo, and yeah, I must say it's more like a dream come true.
Is it?
Yeah, having seen you on the screen all the time, today
we sit
God has answered my prayers that I'm sitting looking at you face to face. It's the grace of the Lord.
It's not about me. We're here to talk about you today. Let's talk about the statement, Ngisondela Kuwe, and the significance of you calling this album and giving it this title.
Ngisondela Kuwe simply can be interpreted as I'm coming closer to you. You know, at the time when I was doing this album, I was going through a lot of turmoil in my life. I was facing a lot of challenges, both personally, you know, in my working place and spiritually. And when I decided that I'm going to do this album, when I consulted with my producer, the person that produced this album, Gift Lidimo, when we sat down and discussed it, she said to me, you know what, you got to make this album speak to the people. It's got to be a testimony about what we are going through. And each and every song in this album should tell the people, it should be an inspiration to the people about the same things, similar situations that they may be faced with in their lives. And hence, Ngisondela Kuwe, each and every song, if you look at it, if you listen to it, you can tell that it's a testimony of things that I went through during this time when I was doing this album.
Now, talk to us about the process of putting all these songs together on this album, and specifically this one. What were the highlights of putting together this album?
The process of putting together the songs, like I said, it had to be informed by the situation that I was faced with, the conditions that I was going through in my life. And if you look at song number 1, Ngisondela Kuwe, I had decided that, you know, in life, when you go through certain situations, you find that people that you are so close to, people that you trust, you may be betrayed by them. People that you call friends, people that you call family, sometimes cannot be as reliable when times are tough in your life. And I realized that there's only one person to look up to, and that is God. And if you look at the song Uyinqaba, it's a song that says, you are my fortress, because in God we've got answers for every question that we have in our lives. And the book of Psalms says, I lift my eyes, David says, I lift my eyes unto the mountains, whence my help come from. Because when you're faced with tough situations, the only person that you can consult with, you can seek answers from, it is God. God is faithful. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's unlike people, because people can promise you this today, but tomorrow things may change.
But what is it about this album that signifies your growth and as a musician and as a man? Because you say now you went through personal issues and professional issues prior to putting this album together. But how is that growth reflected in this album?
If you know the history of my music, and you know the previous 5 albums that I released, you'll understand the difference with this one. There's a sense of maturity in it. You can tell that there was that growth spiritually. Because when I did it, I soaked myself in prayer. I went through a period of prayer and fasting. You remember when Jesus had to start his ministry, he started by fasting and praying. And I followed the same trend. I followed the same route. I went through a period where I soaked myself in prayer. I prayed and fasted, and these are the results. If you listen to it, it is spiritually filled. It's an album that heals the soul of a person. It's an album that says to you, it's not over. God is still there. Your situation will come to an end, but God will always be there. He will always prevail beyond whatever circumstances that you are faced with.
Now, you know, you've had your experiences with people, like you just said, you know, people will betray you, but the opposite is that there are people that have been there from day one. Who for you have been those people that have been there from day one throughout this difficulty and, you know, to today?
Oh, my family, my mom, my wife, my children, they've always been there, you know. You go through a phase where you don't even have enough to take care of them, to maintain them as a father. And, you know, you need a wife, you need children that would say to you, it's okay, Dad. We're behind you all the way, no matter what you're going through. We understand if you don't have 1, 2, 3, like other children have. We understand that the phase will pass. And those are the people that have supported me through and through. My producer, Gift Lidimo, she's been there since album number 1, Sifabelo Saka. When I released it, she was working with me as a backing singer, and she did all the albums with me in studio. But this time around, because she had taken and assumed a position, you know, of responsibility, she was not only a backing singer, but she was contributing in ideas in all the albums. Hence, I decided this time around, let me give her a chance to produce this album, which she took with both hands. And the results are this album. She has always been there for me. You know, in this industry, it is so tough.
All right, JJ, thank you so much. JJ, talking to us about his 6th and brand new studio album is titled Ngisondela Kuwe, and it boasts 10 tracks that showcase the gospel singer's dedication and undying love for his craft. If you're a fan who has heard his other albums, this one is also worth a listen. And if you don't know him and you love gospel music, maybe you should get a copy of Ngisondela